Welcome to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio podcast, where it's our opinion, but if it turns the truth, we've given you the facts before we happen. The Caitlin Clark effect, the Caitlin Clark effect on the WNBA playoffs. Is it the it factor? We'll talk about it today and more on the Money Mike Syndicated Radio podcast. You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Show. We're going to keep you up to date and current in all sports. We'll make sure you're aware of everything in corporate and enterprise business. And most of all, we'll share with you how to make a little more money as we cover the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball. Well, let's talk about the Caitlin Clark effect, and we'll talk about it from the perspective of men, women, and children. Do men watch a basketball game to see where they want to watch greatness, they want to watch talent, they want to watch everything that's done, and they want it done to perfection? Do women watch the game where they want to say, we can play too, and we play just as good as you? And do the kids watch the game and say, I too can one day dream and be a part of this game? And it all starts with the Caitlin Clark effect. The Caitlin Clark effect is basketball is not just a game that's been around for 100 years. It's not just a game that you take for granted. It's at school as kids wear their jerseys and they go in and out each and every day. So we look at the WNBA playoffs and the reduction, or I'd say reduced viewership without the Caitlin Clark effect. The effect that Caitlin Clark has touched so many lives with the recent ending of the WNBA regular season. And now we witness what it's like not to have the Caitlin Clark effect or the it factor that Caitlin Clark brings to the game. Caitlin is much more than just a basketball player. She does so much more each and every day with all her effort. But why the playoffs don't feel the same as I look at the Minnesota Lynx and the Connecticut Sun? They struggle to bring in fans, and they struggle without the effect. Not necessarily it has to be a Caitlin Clark effect, but they struggle without the effect and the emotional attachment from the fans. Every way you must understand, even with Team USA, the Caitlin Clark effect for the men, the women of the armed forces. The Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the National Guard, Homeland Security. It is proud to say that the effect of Caitlin Clark has reached out to the United States military. The effect is more than one can see, as one day Caitlin will play upon the ships, just as the colleges do, and the men and women that protect this country will be able to receive the Caitlin Clark effect. You're coming as a family, the Caitlin Clark effect, and you're bringing 5 versus 1 or 5 versus 2. So the attendance goes up because the effect is surrounded at work, season ticket holders. It's surrounded in the kids at school as they wear the jerseys. It's surrounded as more than one member as we can do something again as a family as we attend the basketball game. Fans live their life through you. And that's what Caitlin does. The fans are able to connect because the effect that Caitlin has is she connects with fans at each and every game. You may see the high raising of arms as Caitlin is constantly engaging the fans, but the effect that she has on the fans that attend the game, they feel like she's talking to them. The Caitlin Clark effect is like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Luka Doncic, LeBron James. It's an effect where the fan connects to you and they're able to live their life through you. So as I look at the Connecticut Sun and the Minnesota Lynx, and you all wonder why they don't have the Caitlin Clark effect. The Caitlin Clark effect is something that matters as much as what you say, but also how you say it. And when you say it, as the fans are attracted to your well-being because the fans have an opportunity to live their life through you, that one can say, I can be like Caitlin. As the WNBA, and they have the effect, not just the Caitlin Clark effect, but the other women in the WNBA who have the power to have the same effect. as they look through the eyes of the window of does it make a difference? Is the importance of fans coming to the game, and is the importance of the relationship to the fans. It doesn't matter where your seat is located within the stadium. Each and every fan leaves with the effect that will be a lasting member forever. The women pay it for equality, for equal pay. To understand, we want justice for all. And as Caitlin plays it, she plays for the same reason as justice in America, and everything you do must reach a certain standard. We understand that Team USA basketball was missing the Caitlin Clark effect. The effect to know that the men, the women, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the National Guard, those who are saving lives, first responders, they know they must do and have the effect. So whether you're a fireman, a policeman, or an emergency responder, you're saving lives each and every day, and you have an effect on someone's life. The men and the women that watch the game of the WNBA today, they all want to feel the effect, whether it's the effect of Caitlin Clark or the effect of other players of the WNBA. The effect is so important because it's a connection to me, you, and the fans. The fans have love for Caitlin, but they also have love for other WNBA players. The men look to see a game of perfection, no missed layups, no opportunity, no room for mistakes. The women have a different viewership. They look to the game to show we can play the game just as good as you. We are not the weaker vessel. We deserve equal pay, equal rights, and equal justice. And for the children that watch the game, they look at it from a different lens as well. As they look at the game itself as a game that one can look at and say, I too can one be a part, and I too can have the same effect. So the Caitlin Clark effect will start this year in junior high school, as the coaches will say, this is how Caitlin does it. The Caitlin Clark effect will also be in colleges as they look to mirror the transition offense. So the effect is not just in WNBA arenas. The Caitlin Clark effect is all around the globe. At Team USA, the Caitlin Clark effect, how important was it for the men, the women that protect and serve? The Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, and the National Guard. Homeland Security that protects this country each and every day. They too love the Caitlin Clark effect. Look at the families that attend the games. The Caitlin Clark effect is always there. The family can bring out not one, not two, but 3, 4, 5, and sometimes 6, 7, 8. She raises her arms high in the sky as she looks and jumps and creates such exuberance on that court. It's an effect that will be a part of lives for many years to come. It starts at school. It starts at work. Season tickets will be purchased. We'll do group packages because we can all go and have the same effect. The Caitlin Clark effect, it's a lifestyle that gives the fans the opportunity to live their life through Caitlin. While some may think that effect doesn't matter, it does, because its motivation can be coming from the effect. You can call it the it factor or the effect factor. Families plan their lives around Caitlin Clark. That's right. Families plan their lives around Caitlin Clark. To be able to be a part of her presence and see her is like a lifetime memory that'll never go away. Well, the WNBA has the ability to have that effect. It doesn't necessarily have to be Caitlin, but it has to be somebody that's willing to be a global ambassador, that's willing to come through and say, yes, I can. So my question as I go back, as I originally stated, why do men watch the WNBA? Why do women watch the WNBA? And why do children watch the WNBA? You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Show. We're going to keep you up to date and current in all sports. We'll make sure you're aware of everything in corporate and enterprise business. And most of all, we'll share with you how to make a little more money as we cover the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball. We thank you for tuning in today to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast, where it's our opinion, But if it turns to truth, I've given you the facts before it happened.